Hello everybody, welcome into another lesson. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is polynomial long division. And as you're going to see, it's really not that bad or that hard to do. So we have an expression here. We have x squared plus 5x plus 6. We want to divide that by x plus 2. Whenever you see that, what you're going to do, set up your long division area. Take your x squared plus 5x plus 6, you'll make that the dividend. That is your dividend. Your divisor is your denominator. Think of it, divisor, denominator. That would be your x plus 2. So what you're going to do now, forget the plus 2 for a second. Just ignore that, okay? X times what equals x squared? Well, that'd be x. X times x equals x squared, right? Now, that x in the quotient, you're going to take that x, multiply it by this x, you'll get x squared. Then you have x times 2, that would be plus 2x. Okay? So, what you're going to do here is subtract what you just got from what's in the dividend. So x squared minus x squared, that would go to 0. X squared's gone, but 5x minus 2x, that's 3x. Then you would bring down your plus 6. You bring that down from the dividend. Now you need to focus on x times what equals 3x. Well, that'd be 3. X times 3 is 3x. So you have x plus 3 in your quotient. So now you take 3 times x. Well, that's going to be 3x. And then you have 3 times 2. That would be positive 6. So now you have 3x plus 6 minus the quantity of 3x plus 6. 3x minus 3x is 0. 6 minus 6, that's 0. You have a remainder of 0. At this point, your remainder is 0, so the answer for this would be x plus 3. That's what you would get, x plus 3 with no remainder. If there ends up being a remainder, I'll show you what to do with that, which we will have some problems that have remainders, but your answer in the end would be x plus 3. And really, polynomial long division also is when you have the original polynomial and you're dividing it by one of the factors already. We know x plus 2 is a factor, right? Well, x squared plus 5x plus 6, as it turns out, definitely has x plus 2 as a factor, which would be your divisor, but your quotient, x plus 3, since it has no remainder, is also a perfect factor. So you would take your divisor times the quotient, and you get x plus 2, that quantity, times x plus 3. Those would be your two factors. And when we get into Algebra 2, there's stuff called the remainder theorem and other things which we'll cover, but we won't cover that in this course. But just know that the divisor is considered a factor already. And then your quotient, if you have no remainder, that becomes a factor of the polynomial also. And we certainly can't factor x plus 2 or x plus 3 any further, so those are perfect factors. Alright, let's go on here. What do we got next? Let's see. We have x squared minus x minus 12 all over x minus 4. Alright, so we got x squared minus x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. So go ahead, come over here, set up your long division, okay? And let's lower that just a little bit so you can see what the quotient is. It'd help if you could see what the quotient is, right? Okay, so we have x squared minus x minus 12. That's your the numerator is your dividend, the divisor is your denominator of x minus 4. So we've set it up now. We have x squared minus x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. So ignore that negative 4 for just a minute. X times what equals x squared? Well, that's going to be x. Now x times x equals x squared. Then x times negative 4, well, that's negative 4x. So now you're going to just subtract the quantity you just got from what's in the dividend. X squared minus x squared is 0. That goes bye-bye. We have negative x minus negative 4x. Well, minus negative 4x, that's plus 4x. So that'd be negative x plus 4x. What you would end up getting is positive 3x. Then you just bring down your negative 12 from the dividend. Now focus on x times what equals 3x? Well, that'd be positive 3. Alright, so now take that 3 that's in the quotient, multiply that by x, you get 3x. And then 3 times negative 4, that gives you negative 12. So now subtract the quantity you just got from what you had before. 3x minus 3x is 0, that's gone. Negative 12 minus minus 12, well, minus minus 12 is plus 12. So negative 12 plus 12, that's 0. You have a remainder of 0. So the answer you should get in the quotient would be x plus 3. That would be your answer. So your two factors of x squared minus x minus 12 are going to be your divisor of x minus 4 and your quotient of x plus 3. Now, when we get to Algebra 2, there's another type of division we'll learn called synthetic division. It operates a little bit differently, but we'll learn that in Algebra 2. But for now, we'll just do polynomial long division. And in Algebra 2, we'll review polynomial long division. It'll come up again, so don't think this will be the only time you'll see it. It'll come up again. Alright, let's see. We have n squared minus 3n minus 54 all over n minus 9. Okay? So we got n squared minus 3n minus 54 over n minus 9. Well, what you're going to do, again, set up your long division. So set up your dividend here of n squared minus 3n minus 54, and divide that by your denominator, which is your divisor of n minus 9. Okay? Now ignore that negative 9 for a minute, just focus on the n. N times what equals n squared? That'd be n. Now take that n in the quotient, n times n is n squared. Then n times negative 9, well, that's negative 9n. Alright, so now you're going to subtract what you just got from what's in the dividend. N squared minus n squared, that's 0. Now minus minus 9, that's actually plus 9n. So you have negative 3n plus 9n, that's going to be positive 6n. So once you have that, you just bring down your negative 54 from the dividend. Now n times what equals 6n? Well, that'd be positive 6. Now take that 6 from the quotient, 6 times n, that's going to be 6n. Then 6 times negative 9, that's negative 54. So then you're going to go ahead and subtract what you just got from what was from the dividend. 6n minus 6n, that's 0. Negative 54 plus positive 54, that's 0. You have a remainder of 0. The answer you should get from the quotient would be n plus 6. So, yes, the answer you get is n plus 6. See, this polynomial long division really isn't that bad. Alright, let's see. N squared minus 11n minus 26 all over n plus 2. So we have n squared minus 11n minus 26, all that divided by n plus 2. Well, let's go ahead and set up our long division again here. Set up your dividend of n squared minus 11n minus 26 divided by your divisor of that n plus 2. Alright, n times what equals n squared? Well, that's just going to be n. Okay? Now, n times n is going to be n squared. And then n times 2, well, that's just going to be positive 2n. Alright, well, now you subtract what you just got from your dividend. N squared minus n squared, that goes to 0. Negative 11n minus 2n, that's negative 13n. Okay? Once you have your negative 13n, you bring down your negative 26 from the dividend. Now focus on n times what equals negative 13n? Well, that'd be negative 13. So you would have n minus 13 in your quotient. Negative 13 times n, that's going to be negative 13n. Then you have negative 13 times positive 2, that'd be negative 26. So then you're just going to subtract what you just got from what you had in your dividend. Negative 13n plus 13n, that's 0. Negative 26 plus 26, that's 0. You have a remainder of 0. So the answer in your quotient would be n minus 13 with no remainder. You would end up getting n minus 13. And this long division is particularly useful if you know one of the factors already, but you don't have a clue what the other factor is. Alright, let's see. We have y squared minus 2y plus 5 all over y plus 1. Well, I can tell you right now, this is definitely going to have a remainder because y squared minus 2y plus 5 doesn't factor evenly. But let's go ahead and do our long division anyway, because that's the whole purpose of this lesson. So take your dividend of y squared minus 2y plus 5, divide that by your divisor of y plus 1. Well, y times what equals y squared? That'd be y. Y times y, well, that's y squared, plus y times 1, well, that'd be positive y. So now go ahead, subtract what you just got from your dividend. Y squared minus y squared, that's 0. Negative 2y minus y, that's negative 3y. So you got negative 3y, and then bring down your positive 5 from the dividend. So now, y times what equals negative 3y? Well, that'd be negative 3. So far you got y minus 3. Negative 3 times y, well, that's going to be negative 3y. And then we got negative 3 times positive 1. Well, that's negative 3. So go ahead and subtract what you just got from your dividend. Negative 3y plus 3y, that's 0. 5 minus 3, that'd be 5 plus 3, that'd be 8. Well, we have a remainder of 8. So, there's a couple ways you can write this. You take your quotient, your y minus 3, that's part of your answer. Y minus 3 are 8. symbolizing a remainder of 8. So you have y minus 3 with a remainder of 8, or a lot of books and teachers prefer this. You would take your y minus 3, then you have your remainder of 8. You put that plus 8 over your divisor of y plus 1. Because whenever you have a remainder, the remainder is always going to be your numerator. The divisor will be your denominator for the remainder. So what you would get is y minus 3 plus 8 over y plus 1. That's what you would end up getting if you have a remainder. I am going to largely write answers in the second form. So let's get used to that format for remainders. That also tells you that y minus 3 is not a factor since you have a remainder. So, which really should also tell you that y minus 1 is not a factor, because if you have a remainder at all, neither the quotient or the divisor are factors. Alright, let's see. A squared minus 3a plus 7. So we'll divide that by a minus 2. So we have a squared minus 3a plus 7 divided by a minus 2. Let's go ahead and set up our long division here. Take your dividend of a squared minus 3a plus 7. Divide that by your divisor of a minus 2. Alright, now a times what equals a squared? Well, that would just be a. Alright, a times a is a squared. And then a times negative 2, well, that's negative 2a. So you have a squared minus 2a so far. Now you're going to subtract what you just got from, subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from what's in your dividend. So a squared minus a squared, that's 0. Now negative 2a, that's plus 2a. So negative 3a plus 2a, that's going to be negative a. Then bring down your plus 7 from your dividend. Now a times what equals negative a? Well, that'd be negative 1. So far you have a minus 1 in your quotient. Now take that negative 1, multiply it by a, you would get negative a. Negative 1 times negative 2, well, that's going to be positive 2. So now you subtract the whole quantity from what you have in your dividend. Negative a is positive a, so negative a plus positive a is 0. Then we have 7 minus 2, that'd be 5. So we take our answer and our quotient, we have a minus 1, but we have a remainder of 5. So it's going to be a minus 1 plus that remainder of 5 over the divisor of a minus 2. That's how you would write it. You would end up getting a minus 1 plus 5 over a minus 2. That would be your final answer. Alright. Now, how about this one? We have x squared plus 4 divided by x plus 2. So we have x squared plus 4 divided by x plus 2. Well, you're still going to do long division, but this is interesting. Set up your long division. Your dividend will be the x squared plus 4. You have x squared. Now, notice there is no regular x term. In that case, you want to go down by the lower powers. You would put plus 0x. You'll see why in a minute. If you jump right from the quadratic term to a constant, put 0x in the middle. There is a reason for that. Then you have your plus 4. So you'll have x squared plus 0x plus 4 divided by that x plus 2. Now, x times what equals x squared? Well, that's just going to be x. And then x times x, well, that's x squared. Then x times positive 2, well, that's plus 2x. This is why I said put the 0x. There is a reason for that. Now you're going to subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from your dividend. X squared minus x squared is 0. 0x minus 2x, well, that's going to give you negative 2x. Then you bring down your plus 4 from the dividend. X times what equals negative 2x? Well, that'd be negative 2. Now take your negative 2 times x, that'd be negative 2x. Then you have negative 2 times positive 2, that'd be negative 4. So now again, you subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. Negative 2x, that's positive 2x. So negative 2x plus positive 2x is 0. Then you have negative 4. That's going to be plus 4. So 4 plus 4, well, that's 8. So you have a remainder of 8. So how you're going to write this is take your quotient of x minus 2 plus that remainder of 8 all over your divisor of x plus 2. So the answer you're going to get is x minus 2 plus 8 over x plus 2. And as you can see then, that means since we have a remainder, neither x plus 2 nor x minus 2 are considered factors of this. In fact, the factor of x squared plus 4, the sum of two squares, you involve imaginary numbers in that, which we're not going to get into until Algebra 2, so don't worry about that, but it is coming, but not anytime soon. Got to get through Algebra 1 and all of geometry first before we get into Algebra 2. Alright. Now how about this one? We got y squared minus 9 all over y plus 9. So we got y squared minus 9 all over y plus 9. So again, set up your long division problem. Set up your dividend of y squared. You have no y term, y to the first term, so that'll be plus 0y. Then you have your minus 9. Okay? Then you divide that by your divisor of y plus 9. Now y times what equals y squared? Well, that'd just be y. Y times y, that's y squared. And then y times positive 9, well, that's going to be plus 9y. So now you'll subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. Y squared minus y squared, that's 0. 0 minus 9y, that's negative 9y. Once you get your negative 9y, bring down your negative 9 from the dividend. So y times what equals negative 9y? Well, that'd be negative 9. So you take that negative 9 times y, you get negative 9y. Then you have negative 9 times positive 9, well, that'd be negative 81. So now you subtract what the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. Negative 9y is actually plus 9y. So plus 9y minus 9y, that's 0. Negative 81, that's positive 81. So negative 9 plus positive 81, that'd be 72. So you have a remainder of 72. So what you're going to do is write your quotient here, y minus 9 plus that 72 all over that divisor of y plus 9. And that would be your answer for this, would be y minus 9 plus that 72 all over y plus 9. Alright. See, 3x squared plus 10x minus 9 divided by 3x minus 2. So we got 3x squared plus 10x minus 9 divided by 3x minus 2. Well, let's set up our long division here. Set up your dividend of 3x squared plus your 10x minus 9. That'll be in your dividend divided by your divisor of 3x minus 2. So 3x times what equals 3x squared? Well, that'd just be x. X times 3x, that's 3x squared. Then x times negative 2, that's going to be negative 2x. So now you'll subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from your dividend. 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0. Negative 2x is actually plus 2x. So 10x plus 2x, that's going to end up being 12x. You'd end up having 12x, and then you have your negative 9 from the dividend. So you now have to focus on 12x minus 9. 3x times what equals 12x? Well, that'd be positive 4. So then 4 times 3x, well, that's going to be 12x. And then you have 4 times negative 2, that'd be negative 8. Now subtract the quantity of what you just got from the dividend. 12x minus 12x, that's 0. Negative 8, that's positive 8. So negative 9 plus 8, that'd be negative 1. So you have a remainder of negative 1. So how you're going to write this is your quotient of x plus 4. You'll take your x plus 4. Now you have a negative 1, so you can do minus 1 over that divisor of 3x minus 2. So the answer you should get for this would be x plus 4 minus 1 over 3x minus 2. That would be the answer you would get. Alright, what if I gave you something like this? You would have n to the third minus 2n to the second plus n plus 2, all that divided by n plus 2. So you'll have n to the third minus 2n to the second plus n plus 2 all divided by n plus 2. So we're going to go ahead, set up our long division still. Set up your dividend of n to the third minus 2n to the second plus n plus 2. Okay, just divide that by your divisor of n plus 2. Now n times what equals n to the third? That'd be n to the second. So n to the second times n, that's going to be n to the third. Alright. N squared times 2, that's going to be plus 2n squared. So now you're going to take the quantity of what you just got and subtract that from the dividend. Well, n to the third minus n to the third is 0. Negative 2n squared minus 2n squared, that's negative 4n squared. Then you just bring down your plus n from the dividend. Alright. N times what equals negative 4n squared? Well, that'd be negative 4n. So then you take your negative 4n times n, you'll get negative 4n squared. Then you have negative 4n times positive 2. Well, that'd be negative 8n. So now you'll subtract the entire quantity of what you just got from your dividend. Negative 4n squared is actually positive 4n squared. So negative 4n squared plus positive 4n squared is 0. Negative 8n, that's positive 8n. So n plus 8n, that's going to be 9n. So you have your 9n, then you bring down your plus 2 from the dividend. Now n times what equals 9n? That'd be 9. Alright, 9 times n, well that's 9n. 9 times 2, that's going to be 18. So now you'll subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. 9n minus 9n is 0. 2 minus 18, that's negative 16. So you have a remainder of negative 16. So you'll take your quotient, what you got, you would write n squared minus 4n plus 9 minus your 16 all over that dividend of n plus 2. And that would be the answer you would get for this, would be n squared minus 4n plus 9 minus 16 all over n plus 2. Okay. Let's see. A to the third plus 8. All that divided by a minus 2. So we have a to the third plus 8 divided by a minus 2. Well, go ahead, set up your long division problem. Set up your dividend. You have a to the third, right? But you have no a to the second term, so you're going to write 0a to the second. You have no a to the first term, so you'll write plus 0a, but you do have a plus 8. So your dividend should look like a to the third plus 0a squared plus 0a plus 8, divided by your divisor of a minus 2. Now, a times what equals a to the third? That'd be a to the second. A to the second times a, that's a to the third. Then a times negative 2, well that's a to the second times negative 2, that'd be negative 2a to the second. This is why I say put those 0 terms in the middle if you have no middle terms. It's going to help you a lot. Now go ahead and subtract the whole quantity of what you got from the dividend. A to the third minus a to the third is 0. Negative 2a squared, that's positive 2a squared. So 0a squared plus 2a squared, well that'll give you positive 2a squared. Then you bring down your 0a from the dividend. Now a times what equals 2a squared? Well that'd be 2a. So you have a squared plus 2a. Now 2a times a, that's going to be 2a squared. Then you have 2a times negative 2, that'd be negative 4a. So now you'll subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from your dividend. Well, 2a squared minus 2a squared is 0. Negative 4a is positive 4a. So 0 plus 4a, well that's 4a. At this point you just drop your 8 down from the dividend. Okay, a times what equals 4a? Well, that'd be 4. And then 4 times a, that's 4a. And 4 times negative 2, that'd be negative 8. So now you subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. 4a minus 4a is 0. Negative 8, that's positive 8. So you'll have 8 plus 8, that would be 16. You'll actually end up getting a remainder of 16 with this. So your answer is going to be from the quotient, the a squared plus 2a plus 4 plus that remainder of 16 all over your divisor of a minus 2. And that's how you would write your answer. It's going to end up being a to the second plus 2a plus 4 plus 16 all over a minus 2. Okay. How about this one? We have n to the third minus 1 all over n minus 1. We got n to the third minus 1 all over n minus 1. Well, let's go ahead and set up our divisor here. We have n to the third, but we have no n to the second term, so that'll be 0n to the second. We have no n to the first term, so we'll also have plus 0n. But we do have a negative 1 term, so we'll keep that in the dividend, divided by your divisor of n minus 1. Now, n times what equals n to the third? That'd be n to the second, right? N to the second times n, that's going to be n to the third. N squared times negative 1, that'd be negative n squared. So now you'll subtract what you got, the whole quantity of what you got from the dividend. N to the third minus n to the third is 0. Negative n squared is actually plus n squared. So 0n squared plus n squared, well, that's going to give you n squared. Then you'll drop your 0n down from the dividend. N times what equals n squared? Well, that'd be plus n. N times n, well, that's n squared. N times minus 1, well, that'd be negative n. Now you subtract the whole quantity of what you got from the dividend. N squared minus n squared, that's 0. Negative n, that's plus n. So 0n plus n, that would be n. Then you drop your minus 1 down from the dividend. N times what equals n? That'd be 1. 1 times n, well, that's n. 1 times negative 1, well, that's negative 1. Now you'll subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. N minus n is 0. Negative 1, that's actually plus 1. So negative 1 plus 1, that's 0. You have no remainder. You got no remainder, so that makes your life a lot easier. So your answer for this is going to be n squared plus n plus 1. Now, also in Algebra 2, we're going to learn how to factor the difference of cubes. We'll be able to factor sums and differences of cubes. As it turns out, these are n minus 1 and n squared plus n plus 1 are factors. I will teach you how to do that in Algebra 2. But for now, we're just going to go with this. Alright. I got 2 more in mind, then we're done. So let's see, I have z to the 4th plus 16 all over z plus 2. So I have z to the 4th plus 16 all over z plus 2. Well, let's still go ahead and set up our dividend and divisor. You'd have z to the 4th, right? However, you have no z to the third term, so you'll write 0z to the third. You have no z to the second term, so you would write 0z to the second. You have no z to the first term, so you would write 0z, but then you have your plus 16. So, there's your wonderful divisor. Then you have your dividend of z plus 2. Alright, so now z times what equals z to the 4th? Well, that'd be z to the third. Z to the third times z, that's z to the 4th, plus z to the third times 2, well, that'd be 2z to the third. So now you subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from your dividend. Z to the fourth minus z to the fourth is 0. 0z to the third minus 2z to the third, that'd be negative 2z to the third. Then you bring down your 0z to the second from the dividend. Okay, z times what equals negative 2z to the third? That'd be negative 2z to the second. Now negative 2z to the second times z, that'd be negative 2z to the third. And then negative 2z to the second times positive 2, that'd be negative 4z to the second. So now subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from the dividend. Negative 2z to the third is actually positive 2z to the third. Positive 2z to the third plus negative 2z to the third, that's 0. Negative 4z squared, well, that's actually plus 4z squared. So 0z squared plus 4z squared, well, that's going to give you 4z squared. Then you'll bring down your plus 0z from the dividend. Alright, z times what equals 4z squared? Well, that'd be plus 4z. So 4z times z, well, that's plus 4z squared. Okay, and then 4z times 2, well, that's plus 8z. Now subtract the whole quantity of what you just got from your dividend. 4z squared minus 4z squared, that's 0. 0z minus 8z, that's going to be negative 8z. And then bring down your positive 16 from the dividend. Now, z times what equals negative 8z? Well, that'd be negative 8. Negative 8 times z, that's negative 8z. And then negative 8 times 2, well, that's going to be negative 16. So now you subtract the whole quantity from the dividend. Negative 8z is positive 8z, so negative 8z plus positive 8z is 0. Negative 16, that's actually plus 16. So 16 plus 16, that'll give you 32. So you end up having a remainder of 32. So your answer is going to be this whole quotient here of z to the third minus 2z to the second plus 4z minus 8 plus 32 all over z plus 2. And that would be your answer for this. I know it's a long answer, but that's what it is. Z to the third minus 2z squared plus 4z minus 8 plus 32 over z plus 2. And I got one more problem, then we're done for the day. Alright, last problem. We have b to the fourth plus 84 all over b minus 3. So we got b to the fourth plus 84 all over b minus 3. Well, what you're going to have here, actually there are two more problems I'd like to do after this. There's a reason for that. I'll show you why in a minute. But we have b to the fourth plus 84 over b minus 3. So, set up your long division still. You'll take your b to the fourth. Now you have no b to the third, so that would be plus 0b to the third. No b to the second, so that would be 0b to the second. You have no b to the first, so that would be plus 0b. And then you have plus 84. All that divided by our divisor of b minus 3. So b times what equals b to the fourth? Well, that'd be b to the third. B to the third times b, that's b to the fourth. And then b to the third times negative 3, that'd be negative 3b to the third. So now subtract the quantity of what you got from the dividend. B to the fourth minus b to the fourth, that's 0. Negative 3b to the third is actually positive 3b to the third. So 0b to the third plus 3b to the third is 3b to the third. So once you get that, you bring down your 0b to the second from the dividend. B times what equals 3b to the third? That'd be 3b to the second. So 3b to the second times b, that's 3b to the third. And then 3b to the second times negative 3, that's negative 9b to the second. So you subtract the quantity of what you got from the divisor. 3b to the third minus 3b to the third, that's 0. Negative 9b to the second, that's positive 9b to the second. So 0b to the second plus 9b to the second is, well, 9b to the second. Then you just bring down your plus 0b from the dividend. B times what equals 9b squared? Well, that'd be plus 9b. So you have 9b. All right, 9b times b, that's going to be 9b to the second. Then you have 9b times negative 3, that'd be negative 27b. Now subtract the quantity of what you just got from your dividend. 9b to the second minus 9b to the second, that's 0. While negative 27b, that's plus 27b. So 0b plus 27b, well, that's 27b. Then once you're done, bring down your 84 from the dividend. B times what equals 27b? Well, that'd be positive 27, right? So then 27 times b, that's going to be 27b. And then 27 times negative 3, what is that? That should actually end up being, let's see, 2754, negative 81. You'd end up getting negative 81 for your answer. Now subtract the quantity of what you just got from the dividend. 27b minus 27b, that's 0. Negative 81, that's going to actually be plus 81. 84 plus 81, that's 165. So you have a remainder of 165. So the answer is going to be your quotient of b to the third plus 3b to the second plus 9b plus the 27 plus that remainder of 165 over your dividend of b minus 3. So that would be your answer for this, would be b to the third plus 3b to the second plus 9b plus 27 plus that 165 over b minus 3. All right. So, I got two more examples here because they're different than what we've done so far. You're going to see just how different in a minute. Alright, let's see here. We have n to the fourth minus n to the third plus 3n to the second minus 2n plus 2, all that divided by n squared plus 2. Well, all of a sudden we have a quadratic divisor, so this changes things a little bit. The overall process is still going to be the same. So let's set up our long division here. We have n to the fourth minus n to the third plus 3n to the second minus 2n plus 2 all that divided by your divisor. Now, your divisor, you have an n squared. Just like you would with a dividend, you have no n to the first. So write 0n, then plus 2. There's a reason I'm doing this. Alright, n to the second times what equals n to the fourth? That'd be n to the second. Now, n to the second times n to the second, that's going to be n to the fourth. Then you have n to the second times 0n. Well, that would be plus 0n to the third. Then n to the second times 2n. Sorry, since n to the second times 2, that's going to be plus 2n to the second. Alright. Now, we're going to go ahead and subtract that quantity we got from the dividend. N to the fourth minus n to the fourth, that's 0. Negative n to the third minus 0n to the third, that's going to give you negative n to the third. Now 3n to the second minus 2n to the second, that's plus n to the second. Then you'll bring down your negative 2n from that dividend. Now n to the second times what equals negative n to the third? Well, that'd be negative n. Negative n times n to the second, that'd be negative n to the third. Negative n times 0n, that would be 0n squared. Then negative n times 2, that'd be negative 2n. Now you subtract the whole quantity of what you just got. So negative n to the third is actually positive n to the third. So negative n to the third plus positive n to the third is 0. N to the second minus 0n to the second is just that. It's going to be n to the second. Now negative 2n, that is going to be positive 2n. So you have negative 2n plus positive 2n, that's 0. I would still write 0n. The reason being is we have a positive 2 to bring down from the dividend. So n squared times what equals n squared? Well, that would just be plus 1. Now 1 times n squared, that's going to be n squared. And then you have 1 times 0n, well, that's 0n. 1 times positive 2, well, that's positive 2. So you'll subtract this whole quantity from the dividend. N to the second minus n to the second is 0. 0n minus 0n, that's 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. You have a remainder of 0. So the answer you get is your quotient of n squared minus n plus 1. And that would be it. You would end up getting n squared minus n plus 1. So yes, it can work if your divisor has a greater power than 1. If it's more than a linear problem. It can work with quadratics and even cubics and so on. I got one more problem like this, then we're really done. I know I said I was done before, but I saw these two problems and I'm like, we better cover them. I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't teach these type of problems, because they will come up. Last one here. Alright, not as bad. X to the third, so we're down to a third degree, plus 3x to the second, minus 4x, minus 12, all that divided by x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we got x to the third plus 3x to the second minus 4x minus 12 divided by x to the second plus 5x plus 6. Okay. Let's go ahead here, set up our division. You have your x to the third plus your 3x to the second minus your 4x minus 12. That's your dividend divided by your divisor of x to the second plus 5x plus 6. Well, x to the second times what equals x to the third? That would just be x. X times x to the second, that's x to the third. X times 5x, well, that'd be plus 5x squared. Okay, and then x times 6, well, that'd be plus 6x. So now you'll subtract the quantity of what you got from the dividend. X to the third minus x to the third, that's 0. Okay? Now 3x squared minus 5x squared, that's going to give you negative 2x squared. And then negative 4x minus 6x, that would give you negative 10x. Once you get that, bring down your negative 12 from the dividend. Now x squared times what equals negative 2x squared? Well, that'd be negative 2. Okay? Then you have negative 2 times x squared. That's going to be negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times 5x, that's negative 10x. And then negative 2 times 6, well, that's negative 12. So now you're going to subtract the whole quantity of what you got from the dividend. Negative 2x squared, that's positive 2x squared. So negative 2x squared plus positive 2x squared is 0. Negative 10x, that's positive 10x. So negative 10x plus positive 10x, that's also 0. Negative 12, that's positive 12. So negative 12 plus positive 12 is 0. Your remainder is 0. So in the end, what you would get is going to be x minus 2 for your answer with no remainder. And I will bet you that we could factor the x squared plus 5x plus 6 even further, but we're not going to do that today. Just simply want you to get the quotient from polynomial long division. So that's it for this lesson. Next lesson, we're going to talk about complex fractions. So I hope everyone has a good night. Take care.